formal letter. Basically, we are going to look at the features of informal letter. So when we talk about informal letter, what should it entail? So that is what you are going to look at in this video. So let us go straight. So now, when we talk about the future of informal letter, the first thing that you need to start with is the address and the date. The address that you're going to put is the address of the sender as the person who is writing the letter. Remember very well in our previous video we talked about the two types of letter. We talked about informal and then formal. So you as the person who is writing the letter, you need to put your address. Like supposing if you are working in an institution, you can put care of, then you put the address of that institution. That is how you can write it. Or maybe if you are still a student, you can use the address of the school as your own address. Given the situation whereby you are not working, you are not at school, you can formulate your address based on the location where you are. You can start maybe with a district, maybe county, sub-county, village, or something like cell where you are staying. So that is how you can formulate your address. So let us look at the two ways how we can write our address. We have two ways how to write address as the person who is sending the letter. So the first way of writing address is a line. So we are going to look at how a line look like. That is when you want to write your address using a line method. So as you're seeing, our address, everything is starting from the same line. When you look at the first line, the second line, the third, and then the date, everything is starting from the same line. Remember very well that when you are writing your address, you don't write your address in capital letters. You need to write your address in small letters. Only the initial, you keep them in capital letter. Like for example, the first line we have New Vision High School. N is in capital, V is in capital, H is in capital, and S is in capital. So that is how you write it. The rest you maintain in small letters. Then at the end of it you put a comma. Also for the box number, after putting the box number you put a comma. Then where that box number is located, after writing it, like for this one it is located in Kigali, Rwanda. Then at the end of it you put a full stop. Then immediately below, that is where you write your date. So the date comes below it. So in case if you feel like you want to put maybe your contact, then you can put your contact there. But in most cases when you're writing informally, there's no need for you to put maybe your email address or maybe mobile phone number. There's no need for you to put it. So that is how a line address look like. So let us look at the second type of address, how one can write address. So the second type of address is what we call slanting or indented. You can see very well we are using the same address as the first one. So when you're looking at it, you will realize that in slanting, the first line you are starting like from the margin of your paper. Then you write all words in small letters with the exception of the initial. Then you put a comma. The second line that will come after the first one, you enter inside a bit. That's why you can see that P.O. box, P is starting from where V is. You enter inside a bit, and then below the box number also you enter inside a bit. That is why K is in line with O. Then at the end of the place where the box number is located, you put a full stop. Then below it you write a date. But where you write a date, you can see very well that it have to be in the same line with the first line. That is where we have written date, it is in line with N for the first line. So that is how you can write your address using slanting. So let us go to the second part. After writing your address, writing the date, what come next? So what come next is salutation, that is greeting. So there are different ways how you can write your salutation, that is when you're writing informal letter. The first one, you can say hi, then you put the name of the person who is going to receive your letter. Supposing if you're writing to your mom, you say hi mom. You're writing to your brother, maybe let us say your brother is called Mike, you will say hi Mike. If you don't want to use the word hi, you can use hello, you can use dear, you can use hey, but dear sound to be more formal. So in most cases when you're writing informal letter, better you stick to hi, hello, hey, and then we keep dear for formal letter, but of course you can use it. So after writing hey, you put the name of the person who is going to receive the letter, then you place a comma. That is how you write your salutation. So let us go and look at the body, how one is supposed to write the body of the letter. So the body of the letter, that is where you're going to put the purpose, where you're writing the letter and all the details, you pour it there in the body. So the first paragraph, you first start by checking at someone. After saying hi Mike, then now you come down. The first paragraph, you can say I hope you are doing well, or you can even say how are you doing? Then you indicate the purpose. I am writing this letter to inform you about my graduation party. Given like maybe you want to write about your graduation to your friend Mike. So now the second paragraph, the third paragraph, the fourth paragraph, it will be based depending on what you want to put as the body of your letter. Of course, if you have a lot of things to communicate, then you have to divide them in different paragraphs. So the last paragraph, that is now where you conclude your letter. Of course, when you're concluding your letter, you have to make someone to know that now you are ending your letter. So there are many different ways how you can end your letter. You can say write to me soon, I wish you well, and many other different words that you can use to close your letter. And then immediately after writing that, now we go into the closing. So let us look at what closing is all about. So when you talk about closing, it will depend on the capacity that you have written the letter. Like for example, if you have written maybe to your son as a father, then you can say you are a lovely father. If you have written as a son to a father or to a mother, you can say you are a lovely son, or you can say your son, you put a comma, then you put your name below it. Remember, this one comes in a separate line after the last paragraph. It comes in the separate line. So you can use your adorable daughter or your daughter, then below it you put your name. You can say your uncle, your loving uncle. If you have written to your friend, you can say your friend, comma, then below it you put your name. Or you can say your dad, your love. It depends on the capacity that you have written the letter and the person that you have written to. Remember, when you are writing informal letter, there is no need for you to put your signature. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. And we are going to look into details on how to write informal letter and how to write formal letter in my next video. So please don't miss out.